Picoin just crashed 13% and hit an all-time low of $0.335. But here's the shocking truth that will change everything you think you know about what's happening right now. Listen, I've discovered 3 critical factors that are secretly destroying Pi's value, and one of them involves a disturbing gap between pioneers and the core team that Dr. Altcoin just exposed. You know what's even more incredible? I'm going to reveal why September could trigger the biggest Pi recovery in history, and why smart money is quietly accumulating right now while everyone else is panic selling. Before we dive into this explosive analysis, make sure to follow my Telegram and Facebook pages, links in the description, because I'm sharing insider updates there that could make or break your Pi investment strategy. Here's why Picoin price is falling, and it's not what you think. While everyone is blaming market conditions, the real culprit is a toxic combination of delayed exchange listings, transparency issues, and massive token unlocks flooding the market. You know what's keeping me up at night? Pi has dropped from 30th to 38th position among cryptocurrencies. Daily trading volume collapsed 41% to just $40 million. And I'm watching good pioneers who mined for years panic selling at rock-bottom prices. But here's what nobody is telling you. This crash is creating the perfect storm for what could be the most profitable Pi accumulation opportunity we'll ever see. Dr. Altcoin, a renowned Pi community expert, just revealed something shocking that explains everything, and I have to say, his analysis really opened my eyes to what's been bothering me about Pi Network lately. There's a massive gap between what pioneers want and what the Pi Network team is actually doing. You know what the real problem is, and I've felt this frustration myself? Pioneers are desperately trying to solve their immediate financial problems and want Pi's price to moon right now, while the core team is focused on long-term goals like inclusivity, environmental sustainability, and building a robust ecosystem. This disconnect is creating frustration in the community, and from what I've observed in our Telegram discussions, frustrated investors sell their tokens. I think both sides have valid points, but the communication gap is definitely hurting us all. The absence of major exchange listings is strangling Picoin's growth, and honestly, this has been my biggest concern about Pi Network's future. Despite having majority votes for a Binance listing, the exchange keeps delaying the process, and Coinbase remains completely out of reach. You know what this means, and I've seen it hurt so many good projects, limited accessibility and poor liquidity that scares away institutional investors. The second killer factor is the transparency crisis. The Pi community is furious with the core team over unclear tokenomics and concerns about token concentration with the Pi Foundation. From my personal experience following crypto projects for years, when investors don't trust the fundamentals, they dump their holdings faster than you can say, blockchain. I really wish the Pi team would be more transparent about their plans because the community deserves better communication. The third factor is pure psychology. Panic selling has created a vicious cycle, and I've watched this same pattern destroy promising projects before. You know what happens when pioneers lose confidence, and I've seen this firsthand in our community groups. They start selling at any price, which pushes the value down further, causing more people to panic and sell. The ongoing token unlocks are adding more supply to the market just when demand is weakening, creating perfect storm conditions for a price crash. I'll be honest with you, watching good people lose money because of fear makes me frustrated, especially when I believe Pi has real potential if we can just get through this rough patch together. But here's where it gets interesting, and I'm cautiously optimistic about this prediction. Dr. Altcoin predicts that September could be Pi Network's recovery month because token unlocks will significantly decrease from that period. You know what this means for smart investors, and I'm considering this strategy myself? Less selling pressure and potential price recovery as supply constraints tighten. The expert is calling this the perfect accumulation opportunity, suggesting that buying Pi at these low prices could lead to massive profits in the long run. I have to admit, his logic makes sense to me, but I'm always careful not to put all my eggs in one basket. What do you think about this September theory? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Dr. Altcoin has outlined an ambitious 5-year plan for Pi Network that focuses on delivering lasting solutions rather than quick price pumps. And I have to respect this long-term thinking. The project team is building something sustainable, a complete ecosystem that prioritizes safety, accessibility, and environmental responsibility. You know what separates successful projects from failed ones based on my years of crypto research? the ability to think long-term while managing short-term challenges, and Pi Network is demonstrating exactly that commitment. I'll be honest though, it's hard to stay patient when bills need to be paid and people are counting on their Pi investments. But historically, the projects that focus on real utility rather than hype tend to perform better in the long run. While emotional investors are panic selling, experienced traders are quietly accumulating Pi at these discounted prices. And I have to admit, I'm tempted to follow their lead. You know what the wealthy always do during market crashes, and I've learned this lesson the hard way in my investing journey? They buy when everyone else is selling. Dr. Altcoin emphasizes that the current low prices may represent the best accumulation opportunity Pi Network has ever offered, but he also warns that investors need to approach carefully given the asset's volatility. From my perspective, the smartest way to navigate this is through dollar-cost averaging, buying small amounts consistently over time rather than betting everything in one go. This strategy takes the pressure off trying to predict the perfect bottom, reduces emotional stress, and helps me manage risk more effectively, since I'm only investing what I can comfortably afford to lose. In a market as unpredictable as crypto, this approach not only protects me from sudden downturns, but also positions me to benefit if Pi's long-term vision plays out successfully. The key is understanding that Pi Network's current struggles are growing pains, not death signs, and I genuinely believe this based on what I've seen from the development activity. The project has massive community support, real utility potential, and a development team committed to long-term success. You know what separates winners from losers in cryptocurrency? From my personal experience watching projects succeed and fail, patience and strategic thinking. If you believe in Pi's long-term vision like I do, these low prices are gifts. But if you need quick returns, you might want to reconsider your investment strategy. I always tell people in my community, only invest what you can afford to lose completely, because crypto is unpredictable even in the best circumstances. Pi Network is at a crossroads. Short-term pain, but potentially massive long-term gains for patient investors. And I'm choosing to stay optimistic while being realistic about the challenges. The September recovery prediction, decreasing token unlocks and continued ecosystem development suggest better days ahead, though I can't guarantee anything in this crazy crypto market. You know what I want you to do right now? And I'd really appreciate your support. Hit that like button. If this analysis helped you understand Pi's situation better, drop a comment sharing your thoughts on whether you're buying more Pi or waiting on the sidelines. I read every single comment and often reply personally, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications on because Pi Network updates are happening fast, and you don't want to miss the next major development that could change everything. Remember, the links to my Telegram and Facebook pages are in the description. Join our community of serious Pi Network investors, where we share real insights and support each other through these ups and downs together. Until next time, stay strong, pioneers.